going to show you how I took two lessons that I learned before I was 25. These lessons didn't have anything to do with business, but I was able to take them and not only apply them to my personal life, but I was also able to apply them to business. I'm going to show you exactly how these things work, how I used them when I first got into business, and how I still use them now. So the first lesson that I got, I was probably 16, maybe 17. And, this lesson came from my dad. And my dad was never a business person, right? Really smart, really sharp, intellectual, logical, all of the things, but he never got into business. But he told me something that I never forgot, right? I never forgot this. And mind you, right, I'm 6'2", right? I'm not the tallest guy, but at the time I was taller than my dad. My dad was 5'11", maybe 6 foot. And I'm 17, testosterone's high, I'm doing push-ups, I'm in the gym, I'm playing football, I'm doing all of the things, right? And my dad, he kind of sensed some arrogance coming from me. We were having this conversation. The conversation turned into definitely not an argument. My dad, he didn't play that, so it wasn't for to be no argument. But I was definitely getting some stuff off of my chest, and my dad kind of picked up on a little bit of arrogance. And my dad told me, he said, listen, you feel like you're entitled. I could tell by your energy, you're entitled. No one owes you anything. Not only does no one owe you anything, no one's going to give you anything. And at the time, I really didn't quite understood. I didn't understand what he meant at the time, right? I heard what he said. I heard the words, but I didn't know what he was talking about. I just kind of blew it off like, oh, you owed. You don't know what you're talking about. But it stuck with me. In a minute, after I tell you the second story, I'm going to tell you how I was able to take that information and apply it, right? So let's fast forward to I was about 23, maybe 24. I was doing, refinancing. I was a loan officer, right? I was a loan officer. This is my first real, grown-up job. But not only was it a grown-up job, I had to go out, and this was a job where I was only able to eat what I was able to kill. This was 100% commission. Now, when I was that young, I didn't have any real responsibilities. So, I'm going through the motions and I'm learning as I go. But as I'm learning as I'm going, I would cling to excuses on why I wasn't getting the performance that I wanted, why things weren't working out for me. And my boss at the time, he told me, he said, listen, there's no point in complaining because 80% of the people who you're complaining to either can't help you or don't care about your problems, right? They just don't care. And the other 20%, they're not going to help you. And they're probably happy you have them because they're benefiting from the problem one way or the other, right? Whether it's misery loves company or they got a business and they're selling you, they're working in a pawn shop or whatever the case is, they're benefiting off of your misery or the thing that you're complaining about or the thing that you're upset about. And everything didn't quite click. But, at 23, I still had a couple of more years to go before I was able to really, really understand things. So let's fast forward to when I first started my cleaning business and how I took these things and how I applied them, right? The first thing is this. By the time I started my cleaning business, I'd already had enough, side hustles and I've made money, a little bit of money online. I made money selling products hand to hand. I did a lot of different things. So I had a little bit more knowledge than I had when I was 17 and 23. So I come into this thing and I'm thinking to myself, well, first off, I know I'm not going to share my ideas, my thoughts with everybody because of what was told to me at 23, right? But also, I'm not going to take advice from people who aren't either where I am or further, right? If they haven't been in my shoes with this particular thing that I'm looking for, then I'm not going to take advice from them because they can't help me, right? If they weren't able to help themselves, they weren't able to help me. And I took that and I applied it to my mindset coming in, right? And once I got into this industry and I'm trying to figure things out and I'm going around and I'm doing everything that I think that I know how to do. And I was doing okay. I was doing all right. Obviously, there was room for improvement, and as time went on, things improved. But I don't want to drag the story out too long. When I would go around and I would knock on doors, the first thing in my mind, this is one of the things that really helped me, and hopefully this will help you. You think about when you're constantly complaining about something, when something's on your mind or you're upset about this, your body language speaks louder than your mouth ever will, right? Why am I telling you that? I'm saying that because people really do business with people that they know, like, and trust, right? So when I was going out knocking on doors, I knew that I had to have a positive mindset when I was going in, because one, they don't know me, so they can't like me, and it's impossible for them to trust me. So I had to do the best that I could do to be able to check all three of those boxes. I was only really in control of the first of two of them, right? Once I go in, I have to get you to like me, and you have to be able to trust in the fact that whatever we're selling, whether it's a product or a service, that we're going to deliver, right? And then through time, you'll get to know me. If there's any problems, you can contact me, and we'll get everything fixed and figured out. That was my mindset going in, and that really helped me to propel my business on that part. But I would always also pull from what my dad was saying. I was like, yo, no one owes you nothing. No one's going to give you nothing. There's been times, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that there's never been a time where I've really just been shut down and turned away and get out of here. Like, when I'm going to go knock on someone's door, they just get out of here. We don't want your business, right? To a lot of people, that's enough to break somebody, to be like, this business it's not for me. Entrepreneurship is not for me. Whatever it is not for me. As soon as you bump into a little bit of adversity, they'll break down. They either don't have tough skin, thick skin, or they never really been told no. They come from a type of a culture that, fast gratification, like, that's just the thing. But I always remember what my dad told me was like, listen, no one owes you nothing. No one's going to give you nothing. Whatever it is that you want, you're going to have to go out and get it, because no one's going to give it to you, right? So, I never really expect for breaks. I never expect for luck. I don't expect for anything. Only thing I expect every day is if I want to reach a certain goal, that it's up to me to go out and get it. The same way with you and your business, or if you're not even in business yet, if you're, working a 9-to-5 job and you're trying to figure out, how can I get into business, whatever that business is. Or if I'm in business, but I want to start breaking away from the business and start relying more on my business, on the business, right? If I want to rely more on the business, leave my job so I can be my own boss and do all the things that we get in the business for, you have to know that that's 100% up to you. My transition wasn't 100% easy. It wasn't easy to leave a good job, a good state paying job, and be 100% entrepreneur. But nothing has ever really been easy for me anyways. So I knew that if that's what I was going to do, that I had to go out and I had to grind and I had to hustle, because nobody's giving me nothing, and things aren't going to always go your way. So there's no point in complaining, because no one cares, right? No one really cares. And the people who do care, they can't help you anyway. But yeah, this video's gone on long enough, and I don't want to start rambling. Let me know what you think in the comments. Does it make sense? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm waiting to hear from you. I'll talk to you in a minute. Peace.